Hello everyone, Liz Tintinelli here again to give you some deep thoughts by Liz. Yes, most things these days are affected by the real estate market. I know it's been a whirlwind, hence post-flood of June 25th, 24th actually, that's hit a lot of people. And just some of the things that I've realized since that point is very unique to people that are purchasing in certain price points. You know, the drive of most of the pricing these days is because there's very little inventory. So buyers that are trying to compete for purchasing those properties that are nicely done, it's really hard. What if you took the opportunity to show properties to clients that maybe needed a little bit of work? Now, obviously this all has to depend upon the stomach that the buyers actually have to be able to do this work. Is it stuff that they can do themselves, or do they have access to the contractors to do it right away? I have these clients that I'm working with now that were upset because what they could originally be approved for was a little bit less than what they thought their budget was, so they were discouraged initially to think that they'd be able to find anything. We actually were able to find them quite a bit. What they ended up deciding on was probably a much more narrow market, but they were able to capitalize on a property that actually needed a little bit of work. So it wasn't that perfect move-in ready space, but pretty close to it, give or take some minor painting, refinishing of hardwood floors, different things. So that might be something that a client can consider rather than getting that ungettable get right now, which is the completely done properties that you're competing against other people. Maybe, if I don't want to say lessen your standards, but maybe reevaluate what's important and maybe go for the things that have been on the market a little bit longer that may need a little bit more work, and jump in on that. You might find that you might get in on a better price point than bidding well above the purchase price in order to get that property. But again, this all depends upon the stomach of an individual buyer, what kind of work they're willing to take on, what they can afford. So that's really important, because we're also seeing in this marketplace, look at pictures, they'll have these places that are recently renovated to be what we call flips, and they really suck once you get inside. You know, it's amazing what pictures can do, so I advise people you always have to go look at these properties before you bid on them. I'm never one to ever say decline the private home inspection, because you never know what you're going to find. And the worst thing I could ever have happen to me is have a buyer that I work with have buyer's remorse. So be very mindful of pictures can say a whole lot more than what is actually the truth on the property, but maybe reevaluate what kind of things you may be capable of doing on the interior, because you might be able to get into something that might be a little bit less than your price point, that might need a little bit more work, that you can still work with and build upon for a good investment for the future. Also, interest rates are really great right now. If you're looking at refinancing, if you didn't do it last year but are looking at it right now, those rates are kind of low. So if you're interested in doing that, I have a slew of brokers that I work with to get in some good rates for refinance right now. So it's a very interesting time. Things are still very fast-paced, but there's definite opportunity there for buyers. The buyers that I was speaking of earlier regarding getting in a little under their price point is actually looking for a property in that 150 range. So that kind of stuff actually is possible in and outside of the confines of the city of Detroit. So if you're looking for that ungettable get, please don't hesitate to call me, and I'll definitely do all of my investigating skills at hand to help you find that perfect property. Until next time, this is Liz from Liz in Detroit. You can reach me via phone or text at 313-617-2699, or go on my website, lizindetroit.com, and I look forward to talking with you, if not working with you in the future. Thanks.